Donald Trump on his post has postponed the 48 hours ultimatum given to Iran to open the Strait of Hormuz, or he will blow up their electricity facility in Iran. But that very threat has been postponed for 5 days. According to the post of Donald Trump, he said that he has been having conversation for the past 2 days with the leadership of Iran, and they are going very, very well. So because of that, he has urged the Pentagon to stop the strike on the oil, on the gas facility, on the electricity facility in Iran till the next 5 days. Let them see how this conversation and how this negotiation is going to go. If it goes very well, he may not go ahead with the threats. But if it did not go very well, then the bombing will continue. But before we continue, let's listen to these very updates coming up right now from President Donald Trump, saying that he has stopped the bombing of the electricity facility energy in Iran. Let's listen to it.
Trump posting to Truth Social just moments ago, quote, "I am pleased to report that the U.S. and Iran have had over the last 2 days very good and productive conversations regarding a complete and total resolution of our hostilities in the Middle East."
Whoa. Chief Foreign Correspondent Trey Yingst is live in Tel Aviv with the latest. Trey, does that catch you by surprise?
Absolutely. This is a major development. President Trump taking to Truth Social, not only to say there are very good and productive conversations taking place between the United States and Iran, but he goes on to say he's ordered the Department of War to postpone for at least 5 days strikes against Iran's energy and power infrastructure. This comes after the president issued that ultimatum over the weekend about opening the Strait of Hormuz. We don't have any additional information at this point into the president's thinking about this, but this is a president who has applied immense pressure on the Iranian regime through thousands of airstrikes over the past 3 weeks. And this, again, is a president who in the past has indicated he prefers a diplomatic option when one is available. The images you see here are Iranian ballistic missiles soaring through the skies of Israel over the weekend. There were dozens of attacks that took place. The Israelis striking back against Iran's storage facilities for these missiles, going after many of not only the production lines, but where they keep these missiles and launchers. We understand they've been quite successful in those strikes, although the Iranians are still able to get off much of the incoming missile fire here to Israel. In the city of Arad over the weekend, we visited there yesterday. More than 100 people were wounded in a single Iranian ballistic missile attack. But while the focus was there in the south of Israel, regional focus also on the Strait of Hormuz, where President Trump referenced over the weekend the possibility of conducting additional strikes that appear now to be off the table, at least for 5 days. I asked Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu about that post.
President Trump said that if in 48 hours the Iranians don't open the Strait of Hormuz, that there will be strikes against the power grids in Iran. Will you participate in those strikes, and what do you think should happen next in this campaign?
I think President Trump knows exactly what he's doing, and whatever we do together, and as far as possible in confidence.
So again, the president just breaking some news this morning saying that there will be a 5-day delay to any strikes on Iran's power and energy infrastructure. The Israelis not just looking to the east, but also north to the Iran-backed Lebanese militant group Hezbollah. You can see some of the exchanges of fire there in southern Israel. As a top spokesperson for the Israeli military said this about the length of the campaign.
The citizens of Israel, more weeks of fighting against Iran and Hezbollah are expected for us. With each passing day, we are weakening the terror regime more and more. We will not allow the terror regime and its proxies to constitute a threat against Israeli citizens and against the existence of the State of Israel.
Again, though, the headline today, President Trump saying in a post on Truth Social just minutes ago that the United States and Iran have had very good and productive conversations over the past 2 days. And again, President Trump is ordering the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, to delay any strikes against Iran's power or energy infrastructure for at least 5 days. Guys?
Can be able to open the Strait of Hormuz, because the Strait of Hormuz is where is creating all this, all these threats that is coming from President Donald Trump. Even though the commander in IRGC also threatened to blow up all the energy facility in the Gulf nation if this should happen in Iran. I think that is the more reason everybody are putting their heads together to see how to stop the threat for President Donald Trump not to come to pass. Because if it come to pass, it may also affect other energy infrastructure also in the Gulf nation. You know, the Gulf nation has been passing through hell of bomb, of missiles, of ballistic missiles, and also of drones from Iran for the past 20 days. And they have been the one more attack, even more than Israel in the past 20 days, especially UAE, that has been the most targeted country in the whole Gulf nation. It's like that UAE and Iran, they have a very, very close boundary. So Iran is just throwing missiles in the UAE, like say they throw them for in backyard. So it's not even far away from the UAE. They have boundary in common. So that is the truth. So meanwhile, let's wait and see if the next 5 days, if there is going to be a good talk from the part of Iran and America to be able to open the Strait of Hormuz for fuel, oil to be passing through, because it is causing a global tension in the whole wide world now. That very Strait of Hormuz is causing big problem in the whole world.